do you think that these dog collars, which give a bit of a buzz, or indeed they're capable of giving electric shocks to control dog behaviour, should be banned? And Charlotte, what I'm getting here is people saying, to a degree, these could be okay if you could limit the shock that they give out.
Well, the vast majority of ones I'm getting, people are horrified by this, and they're definitely calling for it to be banned. Amy says they're barbaric. I've got another one here saying, would you put an electric collar on your child? No, it's just a form of lazy parenting. Claire says electric collars are wrong. Take the time to train your dog properly. It goes on, it goes on. Yashin says electric collars for dogs, it's pure torture for our four-legged friends. So a lot of people feel really strongly about this.
Okay, we had the arguments for and against about an hour ago on the programme. We've got Duncan McNair now. Duncan is from the Electronic Collar Manufacturers Association. Duncan, how popular are these?
Well, as far as we can tell, there are about 500,000, about 500,000 in circulation. Not all of them are in use because often the dogs don't need to use them, the owner doesn't need to use them after the dogs have been trained.
But the fact that there are that amount out there, and people are really, I mean, they recoil when they think, oh, that you could inflict pain on an animal like that. How do you defend that?
Well, what I would say is that it is slightly counterintuitive, but actually the way that they're used, when used properly, and the vast majority of people do use them properly, they actually enhance the relationship between dog and owner.
But do people actually take time to read the instructions? How can the manufacturers ensure that they're being used responsibly?
Well, this is what we're working with DEFRA on, because one of the things that DEFRA wants to ensure is that there is good instructional material, that there are videos, that kind of thing. And so we're very happy to improve that aspect of, what we do.
Would you wear one? Have you had one on now? And every time I wanted you to speak or answer a question, I was buzzing this. Would you worry about the shock that was going to give you?
Well, that's a hypothetical question, and they aren't in fact used like that. They are used.
The level of pain. We're trying to gauge the level of
oh, I see. Well, I've actually tried one on my hand. Yeah. And I mean, there are other collars, non-ECMA collars, which are more powerful. But it was only at the very highest level that I felt it was the slightest bit uncomfortable. And in fact, the way you use them is that you test it starting from a very low level on the dog, so that you only use the level which the dog first recognises.
Okay, Karen Wilde, who is a dog trainer, has been listening to what you've had to say there. She's in Lincolnshire there this morning. And what's your reaction to what you're hearing and your opinion of these type of collars?
I think it's very important to assess that if these collars are having an effect, that means that they are actually causing pain. And, to cause a shock to a dog for something that you can otherwise show it in kinder ways just seems to be a very weird way to train a dog to me, Eamon.
Yeah, so what's the alternative?
Well, most professional trainers, qualified, registered behaviourists, use methods that are positive. So they are reward-based methods, and they are very skilled methods. I think it's true to say that when you're using a punishment method, such as a shock collar, to develop that skill is important, and we've just had confirmation of that. But the risks that are involved in these methods are that they can go wrong, and that means that there can be extreme pain caused to the dog. And if the dog has a problem that's based on fear, then any kind of painful response to any action that they give can increase that fear. Now, that is particularly dangerous. If you're using
she says fear, you would say counterintuitive, I think was the term you used.
Well, no, I was referring to the attitude of people, and clearly it's a bit counterintuitive for Karen. I would take up one point that she made, which is that the collars can't go wrong, as she puts it, because they automatically fail-safe to off. So if anything goes wrong with the collar, nothing happens.
Okay, so there's 500,000 of these in circulation out there, Karen, but basically you're saying that no one should ever hurt their dog in the name of training. It doesn't have to be that way.
No, and usage is what I'm talking about when I say that it's going wrong. I don't mean that they're faulty. I think that the very use of them in first full stop is a faulty idea. You don't need to use shock collars. You can use reward-based positive methods and boundaries that are kind and gentle. We don't need to use aversive methods like shock collars to train dogs.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. MPs are going to be lobbied on that today. That's the big talking point. Keep those comments coming in. Here's your weather picture.